You all look fantastic, by the
Thank
way. Look at all
you.
the colours and everything. I feel so plain in my black t-shirt. Congratulations on the film.
Thank
you
you
so much.
I watched it this afternoon. It's absolutely fantastic. I can imagine for you guys there wasn't much hesitation in saying yes once you got the part. 'cause
Absolutely.
None.
At all, right.
How did you feel when you got cast and you were going to be bringing these younger versions of these characters to life?
Well, I screamed.
Loud, audibly.
Yeah. Well, for me, I think for all of us, the audition process was really long.
It was. It was.
So it was just really nice to like, personally, like we did these Kim reads on Zoom, which is
Really difficult.
tedious to say
Yeah.
the least. Like, you know, like we're mixed matching, like, you know, 3 girls. And I just remember like when we got in the room, like us 3 together, I felt like this spark and I was like, oh my gosh, like there was just like a preciousness, like just something really sweet about it. So when I found out that like all 3 of us were the Supremes, it just made my heart so warm. And it made the whole long process like even more worth it.
Yes, so much so.
Yeah. I remember doing the chem read, and afterwards my team was like, so what did you feel? Who did you? I was like, there's this one group. I was like, if they don't go with this group, I'm a little confused. Maybe I'm off. But then when I saw Key and Tati, I was like, oh, it's the group! It's the group! It's happening! But I was super excited. I'll never forget. I was driving on my way to go work out with a friend, and I had 2 weeks before been crying. I was just like, oh, I'm never gonna make it in this industry. It's so hard. And I was crying to him about that. And then I got the call, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's happening! It's happening! And it was it was the best workout ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Core moment.
Oh, great. So, I mean, this film was about companionship and friendship and bonding and all of those things. What was the thing that broke the ice for you guys? What was the thing that you...
We spent every waking moment together. Every waking... I don't even remember what was the icebreaker.
We saw each other right after the flight, and we were like,
yes.
and then we called up Abby. We like found out how to get her phone number, and then we all just went out and like got dinner and
Karaoke
every day.
Karaoke every day.
Like, and like we it was like because we're all, you know, in the same hotel on the same like floor
next door to each other,
right? Like go and like knock, like, and just be like, hey, like go in beds and just cuddle, and like watch things. Like we were real sisters.
It was fast friendship.
Like,
we called it summer camp in Wilmington.
Yes, it was summer camp.
What's Wilmington like? I haven't been to the US ever. So watching all these films or discovering these little pockets of, my fiance's American as well. So, you know.
Oh, wow.
I've never been. What's that place like? Because just in terms of what the periods that it's set in, it looks spectacular.
So Wilmington does have a lot of history as far as like segregation, slavery, things of that nature, and that is still, you can still feel that there. So that actually, I think, at least for me, like really informed, like, or helped to inform what we were doing in the film, because you can still, it's not what's the word that I'm looking for? Not prominent, not of course as strong as it was back in the day, but you can still feel the air there. Yeah. And I mean, we still had a lot of fun. A whole lot of fun.
Yes.
We were right by the pier.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Is it was very like hometowny, and like even being there, like being that our characters live in a very like close-knit town. Wilmington felt a lot like that. We would run into the same people. We would go to the same cute little quaint stores and bars, and you know, if we wanted to go out dancing, there was like two, 3 places to go. But it just felt like the camaraderie like of everyone was just very close-knit. And then like the icing on the cake was the beach was like 10 minutes away from where we were, with like such beautiful shells. So it was like there were different pieces of Wilmington that I feel like we were able to put into like the storyline of the film.
How important are stories like this for you guys as young actors, given that it celebrates culture, but also, like you said, the history and all that kind of stuff? For you guys as young actors, how important are these stories, and why is it so important to keep telling them? Because sometimes we don't get to see these kind of films anymore unless they go to streaming. You know, cinemas are so thinged up with big movies that it's important to keep these culturally relevant stories going.
I feel that.
Yeah, I think it's so important to keep them going. And I think with the Supremes specifically, you don't see a lot about friendship.
Yeah.
You know, we talk a lot about romantic love, which is great, but I feel for me, like, platonic love is the reason why I feel like I can do romantic love really well.
Yeah.
And I think, like we were saying, like, during the times, it just wasn't common for, like, people had to stick together. And
Yeah.
I think these stories are important to show them also in this light
Yes.
of coming of age and sisterhood. I think
Yes.
sisterhood is so important to speak about, even through such a, your own specific life is hard, as our characters are, but also in the film, the time was just hard.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
seeing that you get through it with people.
Right.
Yeah, and a lot of times I feel like when you see friendship in films, it has a lot to do with young children, and a lot of times that friendship ends up like when they're adults into a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't see that through line of a friendship going, you know, going through the test of times, like decades and decades of friendship, ups and downs, and I feel like that's what is so beautiful about the story. You know, these girls aren't just meeting in their adulthood and like they are growing a relationship, you know, in their 40s and 50s just then and there. No, they have like so much history. And personally, I have a lot of friends that I've known since I was very young.
Yeah.
And those friendships are very unique.
important.
Very
Yes.
unique. And I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of people, when they watch the Supremes, they're going to be like, wow, like that's my best friend.
Yeah.
Like that's
Right.
us, you know?
I feel like it's also really important, like stories like this, because I feel like one, as Black people and particularly as Black women, you don't often, I think, anymore get to see us celebrate through the struggle.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like we are often depicted struggling, and while that is, yes, like, you know, heartfelt and interesting and drawing in its own way, I think it's really important like for us as young actors to be able to tell stories that uplift our people, that give, that sort of pave way and honor the history that we've had, that continue to teach people and show that no matter what the time is, no matter like that, the essence of who we are as people is that love, is that friendship, is that community base. Yeah.
And I don't know, I just love too, you get to see friends have hard conversations with each other.
Because they have to
They
be
have
had,
to,
right?
in love, and that's the
Yes,
only way that
yes.
friendships span the test of
Exactly.
time.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
you have to have those conversations with your girls.
Ladies, thank you so much for your time. Absolute pleasure talking to you. I wish you all the best with the film. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Sarah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey, you guys!
Hey,